I request everyone to please stand up. We have guest has arrived in the station. We welcome all the dignitaries.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is said the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. We have here gathered today to celebrate the graduation day of the engineering batch 2023. I am Professor Pratigna Ajwan,
And Professor Abhishek Deshmukh.
your host for today.
Well, goodbyes are always harder, but it's a happy moment for us to include you all in the elite crowd of GIT EC alumni. You have greeted and lived this GIT campus life and your engineering days and made it your own in the years you were here, and now it's time to put them all in an everlasting sweet memories.
To start with, I call Ms. Pradnya Deshpande to sing the invocation song to shower our respect to the Almighty God.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणवन्दिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्थाय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यपवराय गुणवे गुरगुणवे गुरुदैत्यकलाक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्थाय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि ग्रन्थगीताय ग्रन्थगेयाय ग्रन्थान्तरात्मने गीतनीनाय गीताश्रयाय गीतवाद्यपठवे गेयचरिताय गायकवराय गन्धर्वविकृते गायकाधीनविग्रहार गङ्गाजलप्रणयपते गौरीस्तनन्दनाय गौरीहृदयनन्दनाय गौरबानोत्सुकाय गौरी गणेश्वराय गौरीप्रणयाय गौरप्रवणाय गौरभावाय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्थाय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि Thank you.
Thank you, Pradnya.
May the light of the lamp illuminate our path and guide us towards truth and knowledge. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to come forward to light the lamp. I request few students to please come on the stage to light the lamp, and I request everyone to please stand up. One or two students, please come up. I can have Tanvi, Abhinav,
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
thank you all. Now I request Dr. Supriya Shanbag, HOD ENC Engineering, to welcome the gathering.
Very good afternoon to the dignitaries on the dais, fellow colleagues, department staff, my dear batch of 2023 and their proud parents. Quoting the statement, creative life is an amplified life. Us, being electronics and communication engineers, we enjoy amplifying signals, and I truly wish that all of you, my dear friends, will amplify the creativity in you in the years to come, post-graduation. Today, we all have gathered here to mark the end of your graduation and wishing you all the best for the start of your professional journey. On this August celebration of your graduation day, I, Professor and Head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, would like to welcome our chief guest of today's event, Mr. Milind Katti, our proud alumnus of 1995 batch. Mr. Milind Katti has established himself as a successful entrepreneur and is currently the co-founder and COO Demand Farm Pune, a firm that specializes in key account management software. On behalf of KLS GIT and my personal behalf, I once again welcome you, sir. I also welcome Professor SP Deshpande, Dean Student Affairs. Welcome you, sir. I extend my welcome to all my dear colleagues, department staff, my dear students and proud parents. Students, it is time for you to utilize the learnings that you have gathered over the last 4 years of engineering and apply them to create solutions. Solutions specifically developed by empathizing and understanding the requirement of it. In the changing era of technology, keep yourself updated with the latest skills. I urge you to think beyond the boundaries and be creators. Let your learning and creativity keep amplifying your success journey. With this, I heartily wish you all the best, dear students, and yes, keep in touch with the alma mater. I once again welcome each and everyone here for the graduation day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Anupama Auti to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Milind Katti, co-founder and CEO, Demand Farm.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, dear parents, graduating students of 2023, that is alumni of 2023 batch, I am pleased to introduce our chief guest, a proud alumnus of KLS GIT. I am happy to introduce him to you because he is my classmate and a friend. Sir has graduated from KLS Gogte Institute of Technology, Electronics and Communication Engineering Department in the year 1995. He further pursued his education and obtained a master's degree in business administration with a specialization in marketing management from the Institute of Management Development and Research. Sir embarked on his professional journey in 1998 as a senior officer at Tata Motors in the year 2000. He co-founded QED Loyalty Management Private Limited. Later, in August 2004, he co-founded Demand Shore. In November 2011, he took on the role of co-founder and COO at Lead Enrich. Currently, he is associated with Demand Farm as the COO and co-founder. Over the past 2 decades, Sir has proven himself to be a successful entrepreneur. His expertise lies in key account management software, which is the primary focus of Demand Farm. He possesses a keen interest in history, sports, and Indian philosophy. Sir strongly believes in spreading goodness even while chasing success without losing compassion or curiosity at any stage. Sir is a humble, kind-hearted person, always available to help others. I still remember as a person always active in the class and always involved in group discussions. For any matter in the class, I remember, let it be IA, journal, okay, or meeting the staff, approaching the staff, he was the first one. So, his leadership qualities developed during college days has helped him to become a successful entrepreneur. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present before you Mr. Milind Katti, today's chief guest, a role model for you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Supriya Shanbag to present a floral welcome and a memento as a token of love and respect to Mr. Milind Katti. Thank you. I request ma'am to welcome Dean Student Affairs, Professor S.P. Deshpande.
Thank you, ma'am. I now kindly request Mr. Milind Katti, co-founder and COO, Demand Farm, to deliver the graduation day address.
All right. It's been a long day, is it? You guys came sometime in the morning, had some fun coming back to the campus, met all your friends after a long time, and unfortunately, you had to listen to me. I'll try and keep it short, and I'll sincerely try to make it interesting and probably useful. First of all, I guess it's a huge privilege. Yeah. So it's a huge privilege and an honor to come back to your own college and then spending some time and then hopefully inspiring some of the youngsters. I guess there can't be a more noble cause than this. Yeah, I think lot of what I kind of became. A lot of credit goes to this campus, this institute. I remember I'm from a place called Ramdurg, which is in Belagavi district. I was studying here, and it so happened that I became a very close friend with a buddy with somebody who used to study in Mumbai, and I had never been to any larger place, larger city other than once or twice to Majestic in Bangalore. But he took me to Bombay in '93 because he was from Bombay, and then his father was a very senior executive in a very large corporation. That was the first time I went to Nariman Point. I saw those large buildings. I went to uncle's office, that massive chamber. Then I was asking me, Hingavakand rain madabekle. So then he said, no, you need to understand business, you need to do whatever, so a whole lot of stuff. And then it's okay, what does it mean? And somehow that one trip actually was a beginning of, okay, what's possible. And then for someone from a very small place coming from a lower middle class, that was kind of one of the changing moments. And mind you, this was before internet days, so you couldn't see buildings in TVs or internet in those days, right? You had to actually go. Yeah, so that's how that's where the journey began. I remember, and one of the things that uncle told me is you should read Fortune, you should read Business India, you should read Economic Times. I think I was probably, me and Mihir were the only two people who in that library there actually read all Fortune magazines and all Business India and every day probably Economic Times. So people is like, what are you guys doing? But yeah, so that's how my interest in building businesses, running businesses kind of started. Is there a ticker there? Yeah. So today, so what I want to do is, I really don't want you to bore with how I built business or what happened or what really the incidents that happened, although they look interesting. What I would rather do is, I would rather go back and if I reflect today my journey in my entrepreneur, and hopefully my reflections will help you guys pick up few signals, pick up few insights. That's the idea. So I usually break my journey into probably 3 or 4 phases. I'm in the 4th phase now. And just to give you a kind of an idea, I tried building 5 or 6 companies. One really did well, where we were able to grow it to almost 800,000 people. We were the first in the country to do that business, and globally one of the largest. And that company got acquired in 2018 by one of the world's largest digital media company. So other than that, 1 or 2 businesses kind of did okay. And then now I'm building, this one is very exciting and I'm quite passionate about this. This time it's a software product company, it's a SaaS cloud business that we are planning to build. Again, one of the earliest in the world to do so. And we have only 2 other companies who do this, one in Seattle, one in Silicon Valley and one in Pune. So, it's very exciting to build product from here. for the global markets. I think I'm very excited about that, and one of the first in the world to think about something like this. And that's about like what I've done, what the business that we built, right? So basically, I just wanted to touch upon early stage. I mean, in the beginning, in 2000, I used to work in Tata Motors, and my father had just retired, and then so he's retired from a small job, and then I said, I'm quitting, and then I'm going to the Brahman yaru kanne kodangilla business madidra. So I said, okay, I mean, but I might have to try it, and then exactly. So so yeah, I went to Pune, but the problem was, startup was not really fashionable. Nobody had heard of startups in those days. And there were not too many mentors, there were not too many guidelines or playbooks as to how one can become a successful entrepreneur, right? It was very unheard of in those days. So therefore, we made tons of mistakes. We really didn't know what we were doing. We tried to do whatever that came our mind. We were 3 classmates. Just slide through one, another one, and another one. Thank you. So we tried various things, therefore. I mean, whatever came our way, we went there to build a marketing agency, to build an advertising agency. We did succeed a little bit in the process. 3 of us who were classmates who thought that always in college we wanted to do business. So we went to do business. And I had money for 6 months because I'd saved up whatever that. And I had a free house to live in Pune, therefore I could extend it to a 7th month. And then I told my father that, okay, I'll try for 6 months, and then if I don't get anywhere, I'll take up a job. And fortunately, it's been 23 years. I never had to do that. So, but we did a whole lot of stuff. I mean, whatever came our way, very, very interesting things started. I mean, for example, while we were doing advertisements for a lot of software companies for their recruitment, that's what we specialized in somehow. And one day we were sitting, one of my customers, HR person is sitting there, you gives advertisement, you give ads in Ascent, Times of India. This is before internet, like 2001, 2002. Internet just come about, no Naukri yet. So we receive tens of thousands of CVs, and then we have to sit and sort them. So you keep giving ads. So is it okay, so will you pay me if I sort it for you? I said, yes, let me get an approval. So, okay, how many CVs do you get? So I said, 1 lakh. So fair enough, so what do you want me to do? So I said, okay, so I receive all the emails, download the attachment, read through it, okay, Oracle, SAP, this technology, in each technology 0 to 2, 2 to 4. You just have to, all the emails have come in Outlook in those days, and you just have to see it and then classify them. And then I picked up 3 BCom second year students in the college. I went there. I didn't have 3 computers, so I rented 3 computers and did this job, 10 rupees a CV, 1 lakh CVs, so 10 lakh rupees, 2 months. So those were some of the things that we used to do in those days, and there are plenty of such things. One day, somebody sent me an email saying that here is a data processing work. The mail had come from France, and I'm just sitting there. And I'd recently learned Excel, because when we passed out of college, I think Windows had just come in. I remember in GIT, we just used DOS in those days. I think Windows were not in 95 when we passed out. So we had not learned really Excel at that point. So I had newly learned Excel and I'm very excited about it. So this guy had something, I put an Excel formula and then said that, and I called my co-founder. So we only used to have 1 mobile phone. Whoever was going out used to carry it at that time. So incoming was charged, therefore. Very expensive mobile those days. So then I said, we can make probably 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs, this 2001, 2002, if we do this. And there used to be a show called Mungeri Lal Ke Haseen Sapne. So this guy is telling me, अरे मुंगू जैसे तो सपने देखते बैठेगा, कौन देता उतना पैसा? मैं बोला, no, I have really done this calculation in Excel. I mean, but yeah, so we picked that work. We really didn't know how to do that. And I called somebody, figured it out. And then one day this chap says that, okay, I am coming to India and I will meet you. Then said, oh shit, हमारा तो कुछ ऑफिस नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं है. So he said, no, no. Then he wrote that, okay, I can't come to Pune. Can you meet me in Mumbai? I said, yes, I will. So he gave us, and then we did some trial, and he asked us to quote. I remember quoting some 10 cents per 1,000 characters, right? The customer comes back and tells me, you guys are quoting really low. I've been paying 30 cents. I'll give you guys 15. Do it. So that's how naive we were, but that still was a lot of money for us. So, so basically what I'm trying to say is my first phase was all about doing whatever came our way, not really thinking through. That's not how one builds companies. And therefore, it did go far. So what are the reflections? So if I were to reflect on all of these things, next 3 clicks. So three things that I really want you guys to take away. If you want to build, because none of these are all one time, right? 1 lakh CV mil gaya, you made that money, it's one time, then what? Right? He gave you some 10,000 pages to tag, you finished that, then what? Right? None of these were sustainable, long-term, growing business ideas. So if I look at my first year, 5 years of entrepreneur journey, it's very important that why is so much more important than how and what. That's what I reflect now and then tell a lot of other startups, right? Why will customer pay? What problem are you solving? Because what happens is it's very easy for us to jump into answering what question and how question. Why question is always a very difficult question to answer, no? And it's not true only with your entrepreneurship. In your work, suppose you are doing a project, obviously it's very easy for you, okay, how do I do this project, right? And what will I code this in, or what will I use in this project, right? What and how questions are easy to answer. Why is the hardest question to answer? But if you answer why question, what you do changes drastically, right? I think some of you must have heard this story, and this story comes in all cultures and in various ways. The story that I heard is like, I think around 300-400 years ago, somebody in coastal Karnataka, a king was building a temple, and he was going the rounds doing the inspection, and then he saw a boy, a 16-year-old boy who is cutting stones into cubes. And then he goes and asks him, okay, what are you doing? He says, I'm cutting stones I'm cutting a stone into a cube. Then he goes little ahead, there's one more 16-year-old boy, and then he's also doing exactly the same thing, right? Then he asks him, what are you doing? He says, I'm building the most beautiful temple in the world. Both of them are doing the same thing, right? So what you do and what you think you do makes all the difference in terms of where you go. That guy ended up becoming a Jakanachari, one of the world's foremost architects, built some of the best temples, including Beluru Halibid, right? Because at the age of 16, while he was cutting stone, he thought he's building the most beautiful temple in the world. If you are writing a piece of code which is 20 lines, there are 2 ways of looking at it, right? I'm writing 20 lines of code, or I'm building world's best software. Now, if you want to build world's best software, the way you look at your job changes completely, and the way you perform in that job is going to stand out, and therefore you will grow. So how I see what I do, and that's the why question, no? So if there's a much higher purpose and much higher objective to what we are doing, then what we do becomes so much better and becomes so much nicer. So for me, the learning is try and ask why question, and then in the beginning we were mostly doers and less thinkers, but eventually you have to become more thinker and less doer, because you have to hire people to do, and then you need to do the thinking job. And the other thing, some of you, whoever is wanting to be an entrepreneur at some point of time, no, I'll skip this in the interest of time. Yeah, you can move on. So basically, if you are 2 or 3 people who are co-founding a company, try and decide on who holds how many shares very early in the game, and who gets what salary very early in the game. Ideally, keep it equal, right? Because when you have too much money, when you have too less money, money is always a problem, right? Then the fights happen, right? So it's better to keep that clean. So for me, 3 of us as co-founders and then later only 2 of us, for us we've always taken equal amount of salary irrespective of what job we do, right? And we always hold equal shares in all the companies that we build, irrespective of what role we play. Then we play a role. I am in charge of building a product or COO or HR or finance. My co-founder usually takes care of marketing and sales, and therefore he is usually a CEO. I'm always a COO. The role we play differently, right? And we have to play a role, whatever that we do, right? But paisa equal rakho na, makes life simple, right? Because when you have too much of it, when you have too less out of it, it could create trouble. So keep it simple, keep it equal, make it as a rule. If some of you want to become an entrepreneur. Then really, after all these 4 or 5 years of doing these odd jobs, but really getting excited and then making some money in between, we finally landed upon an idea that we really solved somebody's problem for a long term. So again, a chance meeting. One of our friends, he had come from the US in 2004. He was a sales guy in an IT company, and then so he was generally talking, and then he's generally cribbing. Oh, it takes so much time for me to set up appointments. I spend, so koi milne nahi deta, and then blah, blah, blah. Remember, anybody is cribbing and is talking about a problem, probably there is a business opportunity there, right? So don't waste that opportunity of somebody crying and cribbing. Listen very carefully. So we listened. We said, oh, is that what? So fair enough. So what happens if I set up appointments for you from here in India? He said, okay. So then we said, okay, set up a meeting with your boss. And then we went and met him, and the boss jumped from his chair. You idiots. तुमको मालूम है क्या होता है? You have to call these CIOs and VPs of IT in the US in large organization, talk to them about SAP, Infosys, blah, 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 and all of that. तुमको आता है, so who are you going to hire? How are you going to do? Blah. So then we came back, and then we said that, okay, probably it was too ambitious an idea. So we said, okay, sorry, sir. And then we came back. And then, but the idea was good though. So this CMO that we had approached, it was a mid-sized company in Pune. So he kept thinking about this, and then said, isme to dam hai. So then he finally got an approval to run the trial for 6 months. Then he called us up. He said, okay, jokers, come. You gave me this idea, and it should not so happen that I do it myself, and then it should not happen that I stole your idea, kind of a thing. So I am giving you a 6-month trial project, but I am doing it myself anyways, because tumse nahi ho paya. So we said, okay, sir, thank you. So even we didn't know how to do it actually. We figured out, we learned what has to be done, and then end of the 6 months, I remember we hired somebody. Basically, you have to sit here. This is before LinkedIn days, again before internet had become very famous. We had to take an ISD phone. VoIP also didn't exist. To take an ISD phone, call numbers in the US companies and say that I'm calling from this and software company. My sales guy who is sitting in Chicago will come and want to meet you. That was the job, right? And then talk to him about technology. And nobody was doing this out of India. Almost all IT companies were getting this done from companies in the US. And they were charging them $2,000 per appointment, right? So it's expensive even today. So we said, in those days, everything was getting outsourced to India, no? Tum log ye bhi karte, right? But it's not easy to do so because it's much harder to do. But we hired, we tried, nothing happened. And then my co-founder, so वो थोड़ा English medium में आता है. So for me in Ramdurg, I was from Kannada medium and I have a very South Indian accent. So I told him, एक काम कर, मैं तेरे बाजू में बैठता हूँ, I'll do the research and then you call. So तेरा English अच्छा है. So he called and I used to sit all night because this you have to do in the night. So we did that and we went back with probably some 20-25 appointments at the end of 6 months, and their team had got none. So this boss was very happy. So he said, okay, great. Now here is the 6 people, 1-year contract. You start doing it. And that's how we created India's first inside sales outsourcing company. I mean, we grew that. We kept changing it. Thank you. And of course, the whole business of lead gen changed with digital marketing coming into it. Then email marketing happened. Whole lot of stuff happened in that, right? But we were really solving a problem. And for a long period, because this doesn't stop, right? I started working with an IT company. Unko to appointment, they need it forever. right? This is not a one flash in the pan kind of an idea. And here I'm really solving somebody's problem to whom somebody is willing to pay money for. So you have to solve a problem and only then someone will pay money over a period of time, right? So recognize like what's so for the first time we probably became a decent entrepreneurs probably, right? And then we ran that, we grew it. You can, I think I told the whole story. This was the first time we really became decent. So inside sales, very difficult to execute. Nobody had done this in India. We had to find a way of doing it. Move on. So within 3 or 4 years, 12 out of 20 top IT companies in India were our customers. तो लगे इसके लिए कर सकते हो उसके लिए करते हैं. Everybody had this problem. All I had to do is get a meeting with the right guy. They will give me the order. So today Pune is still called as the lead gen capital of the world. There are 10,000 people working in that industry. It's close to $600 million. And almost all those 10,000 people will have at least second degree or third degree connection to what we started around 20 years ago or 19 years ago. So that's something which is very, very proud of. We literally created the industry from nothing. Not that we knew of it. Therefore, I keep telling you that when you keep your eyes, ears and your mind open, if somebody is cribbing, complaint kar raha hai, to business idea banta hai. Right? Remember this. Not all of them, some of them. Then if we move on very quickly, so by 2008, we are already 100 people working with almost all IT companies, and we didn't have the wherewithal to go to US companies at that point of time. From Infosys to HCL to Hexaware to Zensar, almost everybody was our customer by then. And we were very happy with it, right? And then came the 2008 September. How many of you know? Okay, you guys are too young. 2008 September was when Lehman Brothers happened. The financial markets in the US collapsed. One of the worst recessions that people have seen. So 2009-10 was really, really bad. And suddenly for a company which was growing like this, break, it was like sudden break, gaadi ghum gaya. So we didn't know what to do, something that we had not really prepared for. We thought we have now become very smart in the next 5 years of our business, but we weren't. We were not. We didn't know what to do. 2009, 10, there's no orders, actually existing orders reducing. We didn't have money to pay people salaries. I maxed my credit cards. I mortgaged my home. Abhijit, my co-founder, mortgaged his home. घर वर सब गिरवी रख के पैसा लेके लोगों का पगार दे रहे हैं और धंधा भी नहीं है सामने से, right? So very, very tough times. But today, if I reflect back on it, I think they're one of the best times, because what I did after that, I wouldn't have done if this had not happened. So if you can move on a little bit. 2009, we ran out of cash, but we didn't give up. It's foolish, huh? Sometimes you have to give up really. Aaj bhi, if I remember signing my ghar ka mortgage paper, literally if things had not gone well, ghar gaya, I had a 4-year-old daughter, and then for almost 1 year I lived on my wife was a teacher, and so we lived on her salary for almost a year, because obviously I couldn't take any salary, right? Because मुश्किल से लोगों का सैलरी दे रहे थे. So if we had not turned around, I mean, I wouldn't be standing here really. I would have, I don't know what. So don't take risks if you don't have that risk-taking ability really, right? So yeah, so moving on. So what is the reflection? What did I learn from this phase? If you move on, this is a very key thing is when we learned. So later on when we really succeeded, right? So we all know about risk and reward. So the point is, if you don't take risks, you don't make big stuff. Nothing big is ever achieved. I'm not only talking about financial risks, all types of risks, right? Just to give you an example, right? You have 100 rupees, you go and keep it in SBI, an FD, how much will it become if it is a 6%? 106 rupees by end of the year. Any risks? No, right? You go and keep it in a DCC bank somewhere, probably 8%. But there's a chance that, little 1% chance that it could be gone, right? But yeah, a little bit more chance, but you're making 8%. Now you take the same 100 rupees and then you put it in a mutual fund. What might happen? It could be 120 or it could be 90, no? You can lose 10 rupees. Market niche girta hai to. or mutual, it could be 120 rupees. Now you say I'm a little more smarter, I take the same 100 rupees, I directly invest in shares using Zerodha or whatever. Your 100 rupees can be 200 or it could be 40. So what are we saying here? So in the last example, you're taking risk of 60% because your 100 can be 40 because 60 रुपए आप lose कर सकते हो. But you can make 100 also, na? So you take a 60% risk, you can make 100% money. You take 0% risk, you will make 6%. FD safe खेलो, right? And all these four things are right. ये सब सही है, right? It all depends on आपको क्या game खेलना है. And now you want to become an entrepreneur, you take that 100 rupees, right? It can become 10,000, right? Or it can become minus 5,000. Huge risk, no? Now, if you can live that minus 5,000, if you're okay with that minus 5, because there's a good chance that you will lose it, then do. So that's a very, so for every unicorn that you see in the newspapers, there are 99 other companies who have lost money. Right? What we hear is what has happened. I'm standing here because God was great, world was kind, मैं निकल गया 2010-11 से, right? No great skill of mine, frankly, somehow, right? So, and therefore I'm standing here to tell the story. And for every 100 companies that start, 10 companies last 3 years, and one of those 10 companies will actually go either IPO or get acquired, like how our company happened, right? So it's a very, very thin chance of succeeding. But that's the, so we need to understand that. I'm not, as I said, every option is right. The second thing very important for any entrepreneur or whatever, I think when I reflect back on it, I think family is crucial, especially your spouse. Because so many times in those 20 years, especially in the first 10 years, I was just waiting for my wife, yen madate bit ante. Right, but she never said it once, because if she had said, I would have quit. Right? So she said, no, you are living your dream, so go ahead. And so it's so important, your wife's support. It's underrated, and not many people really talk about it. And that's a great skill. It's not easy, right? So. And I used to hope one day I'm coming, everything is lost. You know, right? So your spouse support is so important. Your family support is so important. Otherwise, I don't think anybody's become a great entrepreneur without that, right? So your husband support or your wife support is crucial. Then when the recession happens, right? I've seen the 3 or 4 of them, and I guess you guys are probably one of the affected in your own way. 23 has been a tough year. 24 could be tough year. But trust me, I have seen 4 of them. 2000 when the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, 2001. I've seen one in 2008, 9, and then now that we are seeing something. So, and COVID, of course. So, recession is kind of Darwin's natural selection, right? Good companies survive, bad companies die. And that has to happen, no? So the natural selection has to happen. So if you survive the recession, then there is so much fun, because after that there's only growth for next 5 to 6 years, right? And I didn't know that in 2009 or 10, but today I know. Therefore I'm okay, right? In 2003 we lost money. I was telling ma'am the other day, we didn't win much deals until maybe June of 2024. We might still not make money, but I'm okay. But I know that once this is over, there's a huge growth that's possible. So that's a natural way of selection. And and also in the recession, during bad times, you actually look at the correct business model. You look at every expense heads, you look at every line items, you look at cheaper ways to sell, better ways to make stuff that you sell, and then so on. So you really emerge with a better business model if that happens. Yeah. One. Let me know if I need to conclude. Okay, sorry. So then came obviously 2000. This is a great phase. I mean, so let me not talk like just go through this. So 2011 until 2018, I think was a fantastic time for us. We grew and grew and grew, almost 60% year over year. we kept changing. Digital came from email marketing to digital marketing to performance marketing to, and then we said, okay, why do we do it only in Indian companies? We set up an office in San Francisco. We said, okay, if I can do it for Indian companies, I can do it for US companies. Then we acquired probably hundreds of customers in the US. By 2018, we are almost 800 people, 20 guys in the US. And yeah, that was a great time. Very, very busy time though. And in 2018, yeah, we'll come to that. Yeah, you can move on. So what did I learn from here? So the idea is there are two things that are very important. I mean, this is not only true for entrepreneurs, it's true for you guys also, for anybody working anywhere. Hustling and scaling, the two things. You have to hustle, you have to scale. You have to hustle, you have to scale. Remember the difference between the two, and I think that's what we learned in those days. Growth is not easy. From 100 people to 800 people in 7 years' time, and launching new products and services every year, and changing the business model every year takes a toll on you. And it's literally 14, 15 hours a day, really grueling hours, and then so much of travel. There used to be a time that I used to go from one city to another city in the US, and I used to forget the room number by the time I came back. Because I would have lived in probably 7 days, 7 different hotel rooms in 7 different cities. So, tough life. Then there's one very important insight, and very useful to a lot of you guys as well, if that becomes right. So, when something goes wrong, right, and that's what I learned in this phase, if I reflect. When something goes wrong, our natural response is to say, who made the mistake, isn't it? Kisne galti kiya? Kiska gala pakadenge? Right? But you will never find the right answer if you do so. When something goes wrong, it's very important to know what went wrong. And 9 out of 10 times, it's not the person. It's the system that is wrong. एक आदमी की गलती नहीं होता, पूरा system का गलती होता है if something is gone wrong. So therefore, it's very easy to make somebody a scapegoat. Then you scold him, and worst case scenario, you fire her, right? Instead of that, if you go and figure out, okay, not who made a mistake, but what went wrong, right? So if you do that, you will actually go to the root cause of the problem, and then the same mistake is not committed again, right? So focus on what went wrong, not who. In your teams, tomorrow you will manage teams. Tomorrow in the whole process, one of your colleagues, you might think that uska galti ki wajah se mera project ka kharab ho gaya, whatever, but go little deeper. Try and think what could have gone wrong and not who, right? You will find deeper answers. You will find long-lasting answers for that. Yeah, go on. So, and then what a lot of people ask me this question as to why did you sell? Why did you get acquired by somebody, and then so on. It's a very personal call. We had worked for almost 15, 18 years, 14 hours a day. I had rarely seen my daughter grow up. And then, so I slowly started feeling that utna energy bacha nahi abhi. In the gut, right? In the gut, like there's not much of an energy. So luckily somebody came and said, we want to acquire, because they really liked what we were doing. It was a full US company, and they were our customers. And if they had acquired us with their strength in the US, with our strength in India, they could literally scale the business 5 times within 3 years, which they did. And for us, I think it was time to put some money in the bank, be secure about your financials for the first time, because until then, trust me, all my MBA batchmates, all my engineering batchmates had made more money than I had. Until then. Right? Because that's how it is. Because you always take less salary than anybody else, right? And if I had shifted to corporate in those 18 years of my work, I would have actually probably made money, which I didn't. Right? But in 2018, sab ulta ho gaya. So obviously when you sell your company, they give you lots of money if your company is doing well. And you never have to work for money anymore after that. So you suddenly become a little richer. But yeah, that's also true. But more importantly, money was attractive, no doubt about it. We were tired, and we didn't have that energy anymore. So those are some of the reasons as to why. But to me, of course, I was very happy when I made lots of money. But now if I again reflect back on it, don't go by the like money does give you happiness. Don't go by the other purists. But more importantly, money gives you choice. Now I can do what I want to do, right? And that is far more satisfying than, because चीज़ें कितने लोग हैं ना, ने जो गाड़ी लेना था ले लिया, जो घर लेना था ले लिया, जो कुछ भी करना था कर लिया, कितना करोगे, right? But what to me the most satisfying thing is that now I have a choice. I can choose the kind of work that I want to do, the kind of study that I want to do, the way I want to spend my time. The choice that it gives you is what's very heartening to me. The various reasons as to why people sell their companies, we did. And then 2-3 साल थोड़ा आराम किया, बाद में हमने बोला अब क्या करेंगे. But by the time the energy was back, and then we started another company. If you can move on. We actually tried a couple of more companies actually. Move on. So just one. So the whole thing is, it's not that, okay, whatever that I've told you is about all those things that has gone well, right? But that's not true. So many things didn't go well in those 18 years. It's just that we were patient. We never gave up. And we were very agile. So the idea is to fail fast and succeed fast, no? अगर fail ही करना है तो fail जल्दी करो, so that you make that mistake and move on, right? So be very agile. I mean, in terms of keep your eyes, mind, and then ears open. So can now move on. So what I do now is kind of second innings. I'm building. I tried to build that. It failed. We shut it down. Demand farm is what we are now building, but I'm more an advisor. I don't travel anymore, so I have built a fantastic next level. So I have 6 VPs who are in charge of all of them in 30s, right? They're far more hungrier. I've given them enough shares in the company that they run it as if it's their own company. They work much harder. They work like what I did 10 years ago, and I'm only an advisor. So I spend more time with my family, and then So after a long time, I went and dropped my daughter to a school bus, and that was and with my dog, and that was the most satisfying time of my day now. So I don't do night calls, US calls, not too much of travel nowadays. But it's fun building on that company. So I work with a lot of startups, both as a mentor. I work with a lot of accelerators in Pune. I've also invested in 6 or 7 of them. So 2-3 of them I could be on the board. So it's very interesting to work with the startups. And then I've slowly started doing quite a bit of education is my passion, educating underprivileged. So in fact, I work with somebody in Belgaum, Raj Lakshmi Foundation, Dr. Kulgod. He's from Ramdurg. So he's doing some phenomenal work. He educates 300 children who are really bright, and I work with them, spends quite a bit of time on that. Yeah. Sure. I thought that I should give advice. I don't give advice actually, but let me try. So a couple of things, if I were to give, with this I will end. One of the things that I've learned is, again, reflecting back, always be curious and compassionate, no? Superb combination, the deadly combination. Be curious about everything that's happening around the world. Be very, very curious. That's where the ideas, that's where the intellect, that makes your life very interesting. Why is this happening like this? What's happening there? Why is that person saying this? Right? Be very curious, but at the same time, be very compassionate. And this combination makes you a better person, makes you a better professional, makes you a great friend, and makes you just as a good person. Be curious and be compassionate, I think. Now, outcomes, we know that, okay, I think, as I said, the why and then the purpose, I already told the story of why I'm building the most beautiful temple in the world. That is the purpose. And if you do something with that purpose, so basically, so in our shastras, like Lakshmi ke piche mat bhago na. Go after Saraswati, Lakshmi aapke piche aana chahiye. Right? It's a very subtle thing, and then they've told us, and they've told this to us 3,000 years ago. Right? So, if your purpose is to make money, you will never make money. If your purpose is to build a great software, then you might make money. Might. Right? So, go on with the purpose first and not really that. So, the other thing is, Nowadays, we've seen like there's too much of free will stuff happening, individual rights, etc. Trust me, none of it exists. We only have interconnected, interdependent responsibilities, period. Right? Because I live in a society, I live in a family, I live in a community, I live in a country, then I only have interconnected responsibilities. There's nothing called as Swecha. People try to confuse Swecha with Swatantrata. Swatantrata means responsibility. You have to behave responsibly. You can behave whatever you want to, but you have to do it responsibly. Whereas Swecha is like, I can do it. The Swecha doesn't work. So, this is, forget this. At some point of time, as I said, somebody doing a lot of Indian philosophy like this. So there's a very complex thing written in our Yoga Sutras where it says that there's a chakra between Sukha and Dukkha, right? You keep oscillating between Sukha causes Dukkha, Dukkha causes Sukha, Sukha causes Dukkha, and you'll never get out of this. The idea is to get to Ananda, right? And that requires a lot of sadhana. And let me not elaborate, that's 1 hour lecture in itself. So, but just if you get to learn somewhere, or call me, I'll try and explain. Not that I know fully, but that's what I'm trying. The other very, very key thing for future is like, one thing that I've learned is learning over knowing. The day you think that I know stuff, I think you're stagnating. So you have to prioritize learning over knowing. I know. You're slowly stagnating, right? You have to keep learning. And what it means is, for whatever reasons, all these years, we've been taught to answer correctly, right? That's how our exams are, that's how everything is. But with ChatGPT, who's smarter? The person who asks the right questions. Not someone, ChatGPT के पास answer तो है ही. But the trick is asking the right question, no? Answer तो है ही internet पे. But going forward, those people will be more valued are the one who are creative thinkers, who can ask questions creatively. So asking a question is going to be more important than an answering correctly. So that's the shift that we see in the world. And asking questions is hard. Answering question is easy. Right? So, so there's somebody who's called as prompt engineering nowadays. And then I guess in the world of AI, I think that's going to be crucial. So, and when can you ask good questions? If you're curious and compassionate. Right? Keep every in the morning, remember, or in the evening, write a journal saying, okay, when was I curious and when was I compassionate? And I actually write it down every time. It's not that I am so all the day, throughout the day. Kabhi hota hu, right? So, so that's if I were to give advice. Move on, and I guess that's about it. So if you're spreading joy, then the world conspires to help you. One, I'll leave you with this last thought, right? To me, somebody had asked me a question in one of the podcast interviews as to you succeed if and only if the whole world helps you. And you fail because the whole world refused to help you. You don't succeed because you are some great guy. No. If my employees, to my spouse, to whoever that I came across, if they had not helped me, I wouldn't have succeeded. I don't succeed because I am a very smart guy. No. I succeeded because whole world helped me. And all those people who failed, they were doing something that the world refused to help them. So you fail because of yourself, you succeed because of the world. Remember that, and that keeps you humble. And with that, good luck. And one other thing, I know most of you are like 23 is a tough year for us, but remember, those who passed out in 2000, 2001, they had to work extra hard to build their career because the recession is happening. 2009, they had to work extra hard to build their career. Today, the recession batches tend to do well from IIT to GIT. Remember this, right? Because you have to work hard. Your job is not going to be easy. You might have to learn more things. Somebody is not going to train you. You might have to learn yourself, right? And it's only temporary. आपके पास you have 30, 40 years of whatever. Don't let these 6 months or 8 months affect you if it is affecting you, right? This is actually an opportunity. This batch, recession batches, tend to become more CEOs, produce more CEOs, because they start on a difficult note than an easy note. And therefore, they are smarter than the rest of the guys. So, if you guys are worried, if you are affected, don't worry. Hustle, learn, do something, and then get back on feet. Yeah, with that, thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights and motivating our students. Guys, I want your help. So elegant, so beautiful. Sir, the graduation day was just... Thank you. We now proceed with the PDC distribution for our students. Instructions to be followed. I request the first 10 students, you please be ready. We have made you seat according to your USN, so the first 10 students can come. Please, you must take the stairs from your left, walk up to the stage and take the stage to the right to walk down and go back to your designated seats. I request the dignitaries to come forward, and I request Mr. Milind Katti, sir, to do the initial honors. Starting with MTech graduate, I call Ms. Tanvi Bandekar, MTech in Digital Communication and Networking, to come on the stage. We also congratulate Mrs. Sri Devi Bargi, MTech in DCN, and Mr. Viresh, MTech in Automotive Electronics, in their absentia. So continuing with the BE Electronics and Communication Engineering.
I request the 2023 batch students to come up as per their names announced. Abhinav Kulkarni, Abhishek Patil, Abhishek Kollapure, Abhishek Pattanchetti, Abrar Sannadi, Aditya Mule, Atesham Rajgori, Aishwarya Javalkar, Aishwarya Kuchnur, ऐश्वर्या बडिगेर, आकांक्षा अरुंडेकर, अक्षता हिरेमठ, अक्षता कुरबेट, अमर गोबन्नवर, अमृता गौडड्डी, अनिकेत देसाई, अनिकेत पाटिल, Mr. Aniket Patil has also received 3rd rank. Anjali S. Patil, Anusha V, Ashutosh Karegowdar, Ashwini Salimat, Avinash Ganachari, B. Mohit, Basavaraj Shillikeri, भाग्यश्री देसाई,
I request the audience to keep clapping. Bhargavi. Thank you, sir. I request Shanbag ma'am to do the rest of the honors. Sir, you can stay there. Please. Chandabasava Patil. Chinmay Kulkarni. Chirag Tangsari. Darshana Talkiri. Deepak Masudi. Devishri Dambal. Dhanashri. Diya Kulkarni. Next, Isha Mule. Giri Gaura Kiran. Gonchi Garu Kiran. Hemant Patel. Jahnavi Mukashi. Shreyank. Kamal Patel. Kartik Rathod. Kartik Guguri. Kirti Kolkar. Leela Vishwambara. Manikant Kurvar. Manisha. Abhinandan Marje. Mayuri Betagiri.
Thank you, ma'am. I request SPD sir to do the honors. Meghna Yattigiri. Mohammad Mullah. Murgesh Gowda, Fakir Gowdar. Nachiket Joshi. Namita Rajput. Namrata Donkari. Naveen Kolli, Nikhil Rai Reddy, Nikita Dodmani, Nitin Kapoor, Omkar Malvi, Om Tilak Paul, Pallavi Shirhatti, Pandurang Vajramatti, Revan Siddha Patil, Pavan Kumar Patil, Pooja Desai, Prajwal Hiremat, Prajwal Sangangaudar, Prajwal Naik, Pranjal Shahpurkar, Pratik Kadlimatti, Pratiksha B, Pratiksha Yargatti, Priyanka Baligar,
I request the audience to keep their claps up. Thank you. I request Dr. P. Gopakrishna sir to do the rest of the honors. Pushkar Patil. Raghavendra Malatkar. Rahul Lanigolkar. Rahul Chimmat. Ramya Puranik. रविचंद्र राजापुरे, रीफा शेख, रेखा नाईक, रिचा सिद्धन्नवा, रितिका पाटिल, ऋग्वेद सदलगेकर, ऋतु को, सचेत, सागर, सहाना बागलकोट, सहाना सायराज भोई, सायराज मरीन नवाब, सम्मेद चौगुले, नेर्लेकर, संजना नेर्लेकर, Sanjita Bhatt. Sanjita is also getting an appreciation letter for being the General Secretary student for the academic year 22-23. Sanju, Sankalp Patil, Sanju is Sankalp. संतोष केस्ट, सारंग कोरे, सर्वेश पाटिल,
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Saurav Mitra, sir, to do the honors. Shambhavi Kalkundri, Shashank Sattigaudar, Shashank Yadhalli, Shraddha Desai, Shraddha Kadam, Shishil Gowda Patil, Shreya Sullat, Shreyas Muchandi, Sridhar Paul, Shri Gauri Avreskar, Shruti Mantur, Shweta Sondur, Shweta Pujari, Siddharth, Siddharth Angdi, Sidhu Hadimani, Soham Mangaonkar, Sohan Talanur. Sohan is also first rank holder for his batch. Sohan Bangar, Shrishti Bogar, Sukanya Sangli, Sumit Hargoppa, Sunil Kumar Angdi, Suraj Mangsule,
I thank Dr. Mitra sir. I request Dr. Anupama Auti ma'am to do the rest of the honors. Suraj Kalyani, Sushila, Sushmita, Sushmita Rangannawar, Swati Talwar, Tejas. Next, Vaibhavi Ghasari. आहे तसं ठेवलं. नेक्स्ट वैष्णवी. वैष्णवी कोलाची. Now Vaishnavi Kadam. Varsha Todu. Vidyashri. Vidyashri Marakatti. Next Vijay Kumar Shettar. Vinod. Virendra Demanavar. Absent. Vishal Bandivaddar. Vivek Bandivaddar. Yes. Vivek Kumbar. Anand. Next is Anand. Akhilesh Deshpande. Amit. Prasanna Badvendi. Naveen Chandra. Anush. Next, Rupa Nadumani. Kantesh Joshi. Absent. Prasad Dupak. I thank Gogte madam. I request Dr. Bhagyashree Pandurangi to do the rest of the honors. Anand. Rahul Gosgekar.
ओमकार कंगराळकर. Furkan Jinabade, Abhineet Ekbote, Amruta Gaddi, Chelsea Jain, Darshan Patel, Drakshayani Nilgaudar, Jyoti, Komal Latukar, Komal has also received second rank. Nikhil, Omkar Patil, Thank you, ma'am. I request Kuri sir to do the honors. Prashant Patil, I request everyone to be please seated. A group photo is arranged at the last. Kindly be seated. Please do not walk out of the auditorium. Everyone be seated on your designated seats. Sapna Jagnure, Sarvesh Tumri, Shivani Pujer, Siddhant Angolkar, Snehal Kanbargi, Pranita Tashildar,
Next, Harsha. Harsha Handi. Raj. Raj. Losa Parnava. Last. Akash Kumar. Vishwanath Kumbar. Akash Hadimani. Amir Sohail Mahmood. Srishti Kotya.
We now proceed with felicitation of toppers for the academic year 21-22. Mr. Padmaraj Lagare. Mr. Padmaj Lagare for securing first rank in first year. Shreyas Hebare. Shreyas Hebare for securing second rank. Adarsh Hanmanavar for securing third rank.
Thank you, Kuri sir. I request Milin Katti sir to do the remaining honors. I call Shreya Ingle for securing first rank during the second year. Almas Kalal for securing second rank. Sanket is here. Sanket Mundargi. Sanket Mundargi for securing the third rank.
First rank in the third year is shared by the following students: Komal Latukar, Richa Siddhanavar, Sridhar Gowda Patil, Sohan Tolnur,
Second rank is shared by the following students: Pushkar Patil, Nikhil Rai Reddy, Abhishek Kavisetti, are you here? Third rank is secured by Abhishek Kavisetti. I call Ms. Tanvi Bandekar to collect the merit rank during the first year of MTech DCM.
Thank you, dignitaries. I request you to please take your seats. Congratulations, MTech and BE graduates of ECE batch 2023 and toppers of the academic year 21-22. Can we have a huge round of applause to congratulate our graduates?
I request Pooja Desai. She wants to give her feedback and good wishes to the department. I request Pooja Desai to come up, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Miss Pooja Desai, former NSS unit captain of KLS Gogte Institute of Technology, Belagavi. Firstly, a heartfelt thanks to my father for instilling the belief that I could excel this degree. Secondly, immense gratitude to all the professors for their kindness and effective teaching. These 4 years brought academic challenges and personal growth with invaluable lessons in my bag. A special thanks to my mother for unwavering support. A shout out to my best friends who are here in the crowd, Tushar and Soumya, adding brilliance to my journey. And lastly, I want to say, Papa, I did it. This achievement is as much as yours as mine. Thank you all for being a part of this significant chapter of my life. Thank you, one, and thank you all.
Thank you for sharing your feedback. I request Tanvi to share few thoughts.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanvi Bandekar and I'm the MTech student. I was the only person to get the admission during my first month of the academics. Every teacher, I just can't thank them enough for being my friend in the department. Instead of teaching me, obviously they taught me, and as well they have been my friends for whole of my MTech journey. And yeah, I thank them enough. I can't thank them enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanvi. I now take this opportunity on behalf of EC Department to thank Mr. Milind Katti, co-founder and CEO Demand Farm, for gracing the occasion despite of his busy schedule. Thank you, sir. I thank all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I place my sincere thanks to all my dear colleagues, support staff, media, students and proud parents for your august presence. With this, we heartily wish you all the best, and yes, stay in touch with your alma mater. Thank you.
I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. I request the dignitaries, faculties, staff and the MTech and BE graduates to gather in front of the library for the group batch photo.